Dr. David Lucas's lab and the Division of Hematology at Ohio State University.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank the session chairs for the introduction and to AACR for this wonderful opportunity to present our research. Today I'm going to share some exciting results about how the BRAF V600E mutation results in immune suppression in a new mouse model of B-cell leukemia. I have no conflicts of interest. So we all know that about 1/3 of the mutations across all cancers involve the MAP kinase pathway, including the RAS, RAF, MEK, and ERK. And MAP kinase pathway activation not only leads to tumor progression, but also to immune suppression, which is one of the hallmarks of cancer. And in melanoma, where about 2/3 of the mutations is the BRAF V600E mutation, inhibiting BRAF or MEK has resulted in increased T-cell recognition or dendritic cell function. And while a lot is known about BRAF V600E mutation and immune suppression in solid tumors, not a lot is known about that in hematological malignancies. And for the purpose of this talk, I would be referring to the BRAF V600E mutation as just BRAF mutation or mutant BRAF. So focusing on B-cell malignancies, about 100% of classic hairy cell leukemia patients carry the BRAF mutation, and about 4% of chronic lymphocytic leukemia patients have the BRAF mutation, and the percentage increases to about 9% when we also include the KRAS and NRAS mutations in the pathway. Studies have also observed the BRAF mutation occurring at an early progenitor cell stage in some CLL patients. This cartoon highlights that one arm of the B-cell receptor signaling itself involves the MAP kinase pathway, so dysregulation of the pathway could lead to abnormal cell proliferation and function in B cells. And in general, in B-cell malignancies, already the B-cell component of the immune system is dysfunctional, and on top of that, it could exert immune suppressive effects on other immune cells. However, we do not have any good models to study this critical aspect. So Yoting Sai, a very hardworking graduate student in our lab, she made a transgenic mouse model for which she first obtained mice with Cre-activatable BRAF V600E conditional allele, and then crossed these mice with CD19 Cre mice, where upon expression of Cre specifically in the B cells, the BRAF wild-type exons are excised, allowing the in-frame expression of the BRAF mutant under the native promoter. And then she crossed these double positive mice with a very well-known model of CLL, the EMU-TCL1 model, where the TCL1 proto-oncogene is also expressed under a B-cell specific promoter. The TCL1 model has been well described not only for drug development studies but also for immune suppression studies. As a result, the triple positive mice have expressed the BRAF V600E mutation as well as TCL1 in the B cells. So Yoting found that the BRAF mutant mice develop disease earlier and have a shorter survival compared to their wild-type counterparts. However, these mice showed similar B-cell development. And the BRAF mutant mice, they did not have increased B-cell proliferation, but they had moderately reduced apoptosis in vivo. So these results suggested to us that the mutant BRAF could be immune suppressive to accelerate disease development rather than by just affecting proliferation or apoptosis. So to first test this mechanistically in vitro, we performed CFSE proliferation assay in healthy donor T cells activated with CD3, CD28 antibodies. So as you can see here, decreasing intensities of CFSE with each cell division. And when we co-culture these T cells with OHU CLL cells, which are immortalized CLL cells established from a patient by our group, we already see inhibition of T cell proliferation. And when we co-culture the T cells with OHU CLL cells expressing the mutant BRAF, we see further enhanced inhibition of the T cell proliferation. And this inhibition is reversed when we treat the cells with dabrafenib, a BRAF V600E specific inhibitor. And dabrafenib alone did not have much effect on T cell proliferation. We then asked the question whether this is because of the cell-cell contact or soluble factor dependent. So for that, we cultured these cells either together, like co-culture as in these conditions, or in transfer plates separated by a transmembrane to just allow the soluble factors exchange. So I'm going to talk while I'm trying to provide. So what we found was even under the transfer conditions, the OHU CLL cells expressing the BRAF mutant, they still inhibited T cell proliferation, but to a much lesser extent than the co-culture. So those results suggested that both cell-cell contact and soluble factors were responsible for this inhibition. We then went back to the mouse model and we looked at the T cells in the peripheral blood in these mice. And already in the EMU-TCL1 mouse model, they have described that there is T cell exhaustion in the T cells. And what is T cell exhaustion? When there's chronic antigenic stimulation, like the presence of cancer all the time, the effector T cells progressively lose function and they start expressing these inhibitory molecules on their cell surface such as PD-1, CD160 and CD244 in a sustainable manner, and they also have more CD44 on their cell surface showing more antigenic experienced phenotypes, which has been described in the IMMU-TCL1 model. And what we saw in the BRAF mutant mice was further increase in PD-1, CD160 and CD244 on the peripheral blood T cells, and also a skewing towards the CD44 expressing antigenic experienced T cells. So these results suggest that the mutant BRAF expressing B cells have an immune suppressive effect on the T cells. We then looked at the myeloid phenotype, and John Grippett's group has also described that the EMU-TCL1 mouse model have an aberrant myeloid phenotype, and what we saw was an increased expression of PD-L1 in the peripheral monocytes. And when we looked at the spleen cells, we also saw an increase in the percentage of the F480 macrophages. And when we further looked into the myeloid subsets, we saw an increase in the Ly6C intermediate, Ly6G high myeloid-derived suppressor cells, and a decreasing trend towards the Ly6C low, Ly6G low petroleum monocytes, which is in contrast to what has been reported in the EMU-TCL1 mouse model. However, further functional studies are required to fully define these subsets. These results should suggest that in addition to having immune suppressive effects on the T cells, the myeloid environment is also modulated. So in summary, we've shown that OHU CLL cells expressing mutant BRAF, they inhibit T cell proliferation further, and dabrafenib reverses this phenotype. And we have also found that both soluble factors as well as cell-cell contact are required for this T cell inhibition. And in vivo, we've seen that the BRAF mutant B cells induce a T cell exhaustion phenotype as well as they have an impact on the myeloid cells. And we believe that this mouse model would be a valuable tool not only for immune suppression studies but also for various combination treatments to inform us about clinical trial design. In conclusion, targeting BRAF V6 synergy could not only reduce tumor-mediated immune suppression but also increase the efficacy of other anti-cancer agents. I'd like to thank my co-authors, mentors, collaborators, and funding sources, especially the AACR Amgen Fellowship in Clinical and Translational Research. Thank you very much for your time and interest in the talk, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions for the speaker? Let me start then. What would be the first combination that you would try based on?
So we were thinking of the BRAF, dabrafenib, and also an immune checkpoint inhibitor like anti-PD-1 and
Steve O'Malley from Genentech. So given the fact that the clinically approved BRAF inhibitors induce paradoxical activation in normal, wild-type BRAF cells, how do you think the immune or T cells would be impacted and myeloid cells if you were to treat these patients with RAF inhibitors? I know you showed you didn't see an effect on T cells here, but there's certainly a lot of clinical evidence that this happens.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, I showed results when we used dabrafenib, but when we used a different BRAF inhibitor, we saw that the T cells were not doing well. The T cells were not dividing, and then we went back to the literature and we do see some reports from clinical trials that patients do have suppressed immune system just because of using BRAF V6 and the inhibitors, but with dabrafenib we did not see that. So I think it probably depends on, like, we need to test specific BRAF inhibitors whether they have other immune suppressive toxicities by itself, or, and actually if you look at in these results, it even looked like the dabrafenib helped T cell to proliferate a little better than the T cells themselves.
Yeah, I noticed. I thought that was more consistent with paradoxical activation. It might be interesting to compare MEK inhibitors, which don't also have that effect, or, as you suggested, other classes of RAF inhibitors that don't induce. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very good.